Gen X exhaustion is showing up in a lot of headlines around because it's a very real thing. You know, it's not the exhaustion that you can cure with some sleep or rest. It's the soul sucking fatigue and exhaustion because life is overwhelming you. And for Gen Xers too, it's like, well, you were the latchkey generation and now you're the sandwich generation. And you're facing with, kids maybe going off to college and you're getting older and can I keep my job? Will I have enough money to return? All of that. You're overwhelmed. And I've talked about it and done even a video on it before, but I wanted to revisit it. And as I'm researching it, I'm like, wait a minute. This isn't exclusive to Gen X. This is what happened when I was in my 50s. Those were the hardest, most challenging years of my life, and not in a lot of good ways. And I decided I had to do a video that I wish I could have watched when I was in my 50s to save me from the pain and suffering and challenges that I went through that you don't have to go through. And that's what this video is about. What I would have done then and sooner that would have made a world of difference. So, first of all, my real quick backstory, the work that I was doing, especially, well, this was in the 2000s. That's when I was in my late 40s and then into my 50s, was very high pressure, highly ambitious, risky work, big car reveals and events and films and things of that nature. That in and of itself was very stressful. But the relationship I had with the person that I kind of helped start this boutique firm became toxic. Kim thought I was going to kill me. And then I had the worries about money and about the kids going off to college and just a whole host of things. And it was wearing on me. And I finally got out of it, but I had really suffered the consequences. My doctor actually said, Paul, you've got a mild case of post-traumatic stress disorder. I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, you don't have to, go fight in Afghanistan or something to have it. You've actually got the symptoms of it. Also, I don't drink, but I was drinking. I'd have to come home and medicate myself. And my health sucked. And, I got out of that and I rebuilt my business very quickly. And in fact, I had a year's worth of business work in my pocket. And then the recession hit. And for me, it was a depression. I lost all that business in about 3 weeks, and I went 15 months with no work. So you get the idea. All of this is going on, along with all the life stuff that tends to happen to us in our 50s. We're getting older. We're concerned about our employment. Family changes, life changes. And by the way, for Gen X, you've also got, is AI going to take my job? All of that. So coming out of the recession, I said, I can't wait for the perfect time to figure out what I now call my new way forward. I need to start working on that now. Now, I was starting to get other business and everything, and I'm thinking, I'm going to be too busy to do it. And I said, well, I just spent the last decade thinking I was too busy. And what did I do? I just kept suffering, kept suffering, kept suffering. And, you know, if I'm waiting for the perfect time, there is no perfect time. And when I do it, it may be too late. And so here's the first lesson. You can start getting out of it and figuring out a better way forward for yourself now. There's always the time to do it. But before I go into that, I want to say that what I learned is that when you're in a crisis, when things suck, when things are tough, that's usually the best time to do it. In the first place, you're motivated. You want things to change. You know things need to change. And like me, I'm also like, I deserve a better life than this. So I had the drive to do it. Now, in terms of doing it, I'm like, well, when am I going to do it? I'm just adding another thing to my list. All of that. And I thought, you know what? I can get up 15 minutes earlier and just start journaling or Googling, whatever, to start figuring this out. I can start talking to other people, even, through work, what are you doing or what are you planning? Or, learn from those who came before you. I started talking to people who were older than me. It just, it starts taking on a life of its own. And here's the really big thing. your brain notices that this is important to you. So it literally reprograms itself. There's actually a neurological process that takes place that is front of mind. So all of a sudden I was thinking about it without even trying to think about it. Taking a shower, being stuck in rush hour traffic, or maybe after dinner and when the boys were still home and they were out doing other stuff. And it's like, I'm going to sit down and look into this or read this book or whatever. Now here's the other cool thing. I immediately got better because all of a sudden I was hopeful. All of a sudden I was getting excited. All of a sudden I was feeling good about myself. And everything started to turn around. Now, another side note, but this is almost the whole ball game here, is that, I had made a major transition leaving television news 20 years earlier. And I did very half-assed, superficial job in trying to figure it out. And so this time, in this era when I'm talking about, around 2010, 2011, is I can't make that same mistake again. I got to go deeper, and I got to go deeper inside myself and higher in my aspirations and kind of update who am I now and what do I want for my future and what's going on out there. That made all the difference in the world. Before I tried to pick, last time I just picked. I was successful at it, but it wasn't right for me, and it obviously almost ruined my life. And by doing that too, that's part of the excitement. That's part of the thing that drove me. And sure enough, I found the new way forward that was right for me, not just when I was able to really start my new way forward, but now in the years afterwards. I put myself on the right trajectory. But here is the big mistake I made that time. I thought to myself, it's going to be 6, 7, maybe even 10 years before I can go after this new life. That was the biggest bunch of BS, half-ass thinking I think I've ever done because I didn't need to do that. I just assumed. Here again, it's like, well, I've got so much that I got to do. I got so much money that I got to replenish and college to pay for and health insurance and a new roof and all that stuff. It's going to take a while. That was a fatal assumption. I now realize looking back, and I want you to hear this loud and clear, that at least taking the attitude that I'm going to go after this as soon as I possibly can. I'm not sure when it is, but I'm going to go after it as soon as I can. I probably could have gone after this, first of all, as a side gig in 2014, 2015. And the timing would have been better. It's so hard to get your message out nowadays. Everybody says, oh, you got social media, you can reach billions of people. Yeah, give it a try. Especially if it's something serious like this or niche-y. Anyway, if I had done it sooner, I would have been more successful sooner and I would have gotten back a lot more better years than I had in between then and now. So here's the takeaway. If you're feeling that exhaustion or you're starting to feel it, know that now's the best time to do it. Tonight, 15 minutes to start thinking about how and when can I start thinking about this and researching and talking to people and all of that kind of stuff. I'm going to get the ball rolling. You're going to start loving yourself. You're going to feel about it. I tell you, it's an antidote. It actually kind of cures that exhaustion because you're excited and hopeful and you get into it. But then the second thing is, it's like, okay, but how do I get started? How do I not make the superficial mistake that you made back in 1989, Paul? How do I actually get started figuring it out? Well, so much of the work that I've done, well, first of all, for myself back then, was figuring out how the hell do I do this in an intelligent way to really get me started. And so down in the description or the comments or the body, depending on what platform you're looking for, I'm going to give you, for the videos that I did, when I do this stuff, it's like, what's effective, what gets you thinking about it, and what gets you going in the right direction, A. And B, is it doable? It's not some trigonometry or something like that. And so I'm going to give you 4 videos that I did, and Three of them have free downloadable PDFs that you can use to walk you through it. One is taking what's known as the Wheel of Life, which is kind of an assessment of where you are in life right now and how your life is going and all the different parts of it. By the way, if I had looked at that in 1989, if I had just looked at the Wheel of Life, I would have had a totally different trajectory. That's how powerful that is. But I modified it. I added 2 steps on it to actually figure out what you want those things to be like and how you're going to get it. Here's an easy, really cool one, writing a thank you note from your future self to your current self, describing this life that you had because of what you do now. It helps you figure out what you want that life to look like, gives you a framework to do it. Um, Another one is if you're a business inclined, what would taking like what a small business owner would do to improve their business in terms of a business plan, but applying it in the context of a life plan. Yeah, a lot of people like that one. But the other one too is I said my health was bad. My health is better now, 20 some odd years later than it was back then, right? I came up with this way of taking baby steps, one little step every day to improve my health. And it did, and it worked. So, sorry. So I'll wrap it up. Pick a time, watch these videos, and take that step and go from exhaustion to excitement.